right, 5 after. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to class. Like usual, I'm Professor Ben. This is J428 and J560, the coolest blended public relations research class ever. So, hey, what's up, man? Everybody good? Let's do our check-in. Anybody sick? Anybody need help? Everybody?
I'm starting to fall behind in my classes because I have just a lot of reading and I just like got overwhelmed and then just didn't do anything for like a week.
Well, dang. I just playing. I mean, what are you overwhelmed with right now?
I guess having to read so much.
Welcome
Like,
to college.
I
I've been there with
know.
you. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. It's hard when you have like hundreds of pages maybe or something like that to read. And that happens when, oh, you only have 30 or 40 in this class and 30 and 40 in this class or 50 in another class. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So my suggestion with that, schedule it. So what I've been telling people, if you take some time blocks, I do that with my work. Like if I have to like do, administrative stuff or creative stuff, not just like meetings and this and that. And it helps me stay on track. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but
I
that
haven't.
you
I
haven't.
should.
I
No.
also, you might want to check out, I use this app, it's called Keeper, and it does like 25, well, you can customize it, but I do like 25 minutes and then it's like a 5-minute break. So it just helps like kind of break things up, and it has a little timer so you don't get like lost when you're on your break and stuff. It's really nice.
Oh, thank you. I'll check that out.
That's cool. What's that called again, Fallon?
It's called Timekeeper, I believe. It's like a little orange,
Okay.
or Focus Keeper.
Focus Keeper. Okay, cool. All right, cool, sweet. All right, so yeah, sorry, Tanya. That's a goober. I get it. Everybody has something weird right now, and everybody has it. It's not just you. I feel that pain too lately. I've been going through a divorce in the last like 3 to 4 months, if not longer. And it's a goober to go through that right now, pandemic style. And so what doesn't kill us just makes us stronger.
I
And
think
you
it's
can do it.
funny. I just wanted to say, I think it's funny you called your divorce a goober.
Oh, it is a goober. Yeah. Sucks. Well, really, it sucks fucking ass. I mean,
There you go.
Yeah, you want the real truth about it. So, woo, yeah. But yes, I'm sorry, and I like that. Thanks for that suggestion. All right, anybody else? Something up? Everybody's good. Anybody got the vaccine yet? I know we're all young, or I didn't know if anybody was essential or something. No.
My grandparents got the vaccine,
Oh heck yeah.
but
Parents got the first round last Thursday. That made me happy.
I think they got it a little bit too late because my grandpa still had like really, really bad COVID complications. But other than that, like my grandma was fine. So, and
Your grandpa had COVID previously, and he still has some stuff from it, but yet they still gave him the vaccine.
Mhm.
Wow, I thought that would be like hard if you already had it. I don't know.
My grandparents were the exact same way. My grandpa, his COVID bout was way worse than my grandma's. Like he got pneumonia, was in the ICU, and they both just got their vaccines a couple weeks ago. And he has definitely taken definitely taken a toll on him, a lot more than her.
I'm sorry. Yeah, vaccine's no joke, but the vaccine is good. So don't be scared of the vaccine because it is going to help. And I think the more I keep reading that when we go from now on to large groups or large gatherings or concerts or, a football game or a soccer game, professionally, we are going to have to show proof that we have been vaccinated. So I think that is something that's probably on the horizon. So, yeah. All right. Anybody else? Anything that we can talk about or help? Give a virtual hug? No? Or Aaron, did you raise your hand? Yeah, what's up?
I've decided to get my master's at Ball State next year.
Ooh,
So that's
cool.
been exciting. It's been a little, I just like haven't been able to find like a good like job or anything. And also I've always wanted to do my master's, and I found a really, really great program through Ball State. So I'm doing it in information and data sciences.
Whoa, that sounds fancy. But with a communication degree and then a master's in that, you'll be like the research queen.
I
And
hope
be
so.
able to like take information and analyze it and tell people what it means. And that really is, again, that is everything that is digital media today. Because
It's been
everything we do,
stressful.
scroll and click, is being analyzed and in some cases sold. Yeah, that's cool. All right, congrats. That really is cool. Okay, let's talk real quick. The Campus Citizen. So, who here has written for the Campus Citizen, the paper? Raise your hands. Like half of us, it looks like, maybe. Zach, is that like a maybe hand? Or like
My first story will be going up this week. So.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the Citizen is looking for some journalists still. They need help. If your gig is arts and sciences, or your gig is sports, or maybe academia, I mean, they need everything. And I'll tell you, as communicators, it is so important to know how to write, and to know how to write in many different ways. It's like at the foundation of it is journalism, and it's at the foundation of public relations too. And 3, you get awesome, cool portfolio clips. And it goes a long way, because people in our industry, like, old like me, when I'm hiring someone new and coming in, I want to see that they've at least written for something, someone, some type of a publication. So it's good stuff. So, hey, contact Campus Citizen. It's worth it. And they'll pay you a little bit. Okay. So it's not like you're just volunteering your time. It's good stuff. And then now to Vanessa, and she is going to talk PRSA, which is also very kick-ass cool. And I was a member of when I was an undergraduate and a graduate student. So take it away.
Yeah, as he pointed out, I was gonna say, there's a few of us. Is there only one who's a grad student in this class for the J560? Is it
Just
one?
one.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So, you're able to join as well as a grad student. But yeah, so I'm the current PRSA president. We also have Christina in here. She is our VP of events and fundraising for PRSA. So you've got 2 e-board members in here, but basically, I know a lot of us are, probably juniors, seniors, you're towards the end of your college career. Especially if you're a junior, I would consider joining. Our mission is to enhance your education, broaden your network, and launch your career. So here at IUPUI's PRSA chapter, we're a small chapter, but there are, hundreds of chapters across America. I mean, there's even like in Peru now. So, it's a place for communications related majors. So it's not just PR, it benefits a lot of different majors: business, marketing, just communications or journalism, sports journalism, all that. So basically just giving you a little bit about what we do, what we are. This week we are holding our first spring semester meeting. It is virtual on Zoom. We're going to have a guest speaker from the Indiana Pacers. He is the director of public relations. His name is Eddie White. So we're really excited for that. And then we'll go like a little bit into more of what we do in the meeting. But yeah, just kind of wanted to give you guys a little shout out for that. I will put our social media in here on the chat, and you guys can follow us, and we'll have like the Zoom link in our bio and everything. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to leave me your email or anything, if you have questions, or you can find me, like message me on Canvas, that will work too. So yeah, that's about it. It's this Thursday at 6:30 on Zoom is that meeting.
Yes. And it helps with jobs. It helps with networking. I mean, it really is worth it. And when you're a PRSSA member, it's a lot damn cheaper than after you graduate.
Yeah.
It's half the price, quarter the
Yeah.
price.
Yeah, and like a lot of I know some of you have had some e-board members come to your classes already, so that some of this might be repeat. But one thing I always talk about is yeah, like he said, just so many opportunities. The biggest thing for me was the traveling opportunities, which led to networking and connections, and you know, enhancing my education just by doing focus groups and listening to other speakers. I've been all over the country just because of PRSSA, like Portland, Oregon, San Diego, Columbus, Ohio, Phoenix, Arizona, Miami, everywhere, just because of my position in PRSSA. So that could be you one day if we get to travel again.
We will get to travel again. This too shall pass, just like the Jedi say. Okay. Well, thank you. And yeah, seriously, guys, it really is worth it. I highly suggest writing for the Campus Citizen, and I highly suggest membership in PRSSA. Okay, so now we're going to go into communication fails for the week. And Vanessa was talking with me earlier, and she's going to take one here. And then Tanya, it looks like you just raised your hand. You'll get number 2. And then I'll take a third one. Oh, Christina, there you go. You get number 3. So rock and roll. But Vanessa, I'll let her introduce this. And I have I have a huge opinion about this one. So take it away. You can tell people the first fail of the week.
Yeah, I feel like I may have Christina and Tanya, you might have the same one as me because this is like the talk of the week, but Newfields, I'm sure we've all heard of it. So basically what happened, if you hadn't heard, was they had a job posting. They were looking for a director to maintain. They had said, sorry, Christina. They had said they wanted this director to maintain their core white audience is what they had posted in the job description. It's crazy for me personally because I was just talking about PRSSA, and about a year ago we had Newfields come talk to our chapter, and it's just crazy. You know, that was one of our guest speakers, and it's just crazy that um you know, I've had them, you know, speak to our chapter, and then I see something like this. And also at the same time, I had a job, one of their job applications open on my laptop, like physically applying when I had saw the news. It was for their PR coordinator. And it's just crazy. And then
So
I
you
saw
had it
their
open.
statement on Instagram.
Did you
Yeah.
apply?
Well,
Or did you let it
no,
go?
it was like open, like I was just like filling out the like past employment and things like that. And like today I officially closed that tab. So you know, I just don't feel like that is so, you know, they have a lot of work to do, and that just isn't a place I want to work at right now. They just need to grow a lot. And then when I saw their apology statement on their Instagram, just the way they worded it. I actually have, I can post the link
In
if
the
you
chat?
guys,
Yeah, go for
yeah,
it.
I have an article pulled up.
Oh,
You know,
just real quick, everybody know what Newfields is? It's the former Indianapolis Museum of Art. Okay, and they rebranded it about 10 years ago, and they call it Newfields now because it incorporates the art in the inside and outdoor type of stuff in the outside. And what's changed about it is it used to be free, but in the previous like 5 years, they went to a paid model. So you have to pay to go there. Yeah, I mean, you know, and I mean, you do get an IUPUI discount. Hey, woo. So, but it's just, yeah, things have changed. Okay, so you sent the link. All right. Vanessa, do you have anything else about this? What do you
um,
think?
Well, one thing I saw, just like the wording in their statement was just kind of off, like how they said we deeply regret. Like, I don't really know if that,
Right.
a lot of people like in the Instagram comments also had some things to say about just the specific word, like their word choice. And some people, I even tweeted about it, and I said, for our tweet requirements in here, I said, um, was the person who made the job posting the same person that made this statement? You know, it was just bad.
Right. Tone deaf.
And in their statement, they wrote that the first thing they did was defend themselves and then like went into apologize rather than just owning up to it.
Yeah. Christina, okay, so what's your opinion on this? I'll give you credit for this one too.
Just kind of like basically what everyone else said, but I think yeah, like the words like because they said like we deeply regret, and I just feel like that's like what people say like once they're caught. It's like
Right.
it's like do you really regret it or like were you just caught so now you have to like apologize for it?
Mm-hmm. No. And yeah, it's dumb. Okay, so this is not the first time that they've been in the news for something race related. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? So, what was it? A year ago, their director of art, she's an African American woman, and she resigned like out of the blue. Like director, I mean, she was high up, the director of art curation or something like that. Like she was like the shit. Okay, there. And she resigns, and she goes public as she resigns, saying the reason she is resigning is because of the horrible culture and the racism that she feels at Newfields. This was like 1 year ago. And now they come out with this. I mean, I'll tell you this. So job descriptions are written by whoever is written by two people, human resources, along with usually like whoever the director or the boss or the supervisor is of that said position. Okay. So I'm just shocked. Whoever the hell did write that, I sure hope that they've been fired just for lack of being just not even insensitive, just so tone deaf and not understanding, like if they are in HR, if they are somewhere like that, just our culture, like, oh, come in here and bring us white people. You know, what the fuck? Right? I
I was
mean, just, yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna say, so I didn't know that they'd put out a statement, but two things. One, I thought it was really, really cool that a lot of my friends were like tweeting about it. 'Cause I wouldn't have known otherwise. And I thought that was cool that we like, I don't know, I have a bunch of like college friends and like they were all coming together and talking about it, which I thought was really, really cool. So it shows community support. But also, yeah, I just like looked at the statement and as you mentioned, this isn't the first time like they're in trouble, which I hadn't known about. And so, but I feel like their like apology or their statement only covered like one part. And I was like, no, like this is an issue. Like if you read the article, like this is like what'd she say? She was like, this is like a small part of like a huge issue. And I feel like they should have covered that.
Right. Well, there there's going to be some fallout from this, and that will happen out of this.
But
It just again, it's crazy to me that they would say that in a job description. I mean, it just I just yeah, I'm kind of like I don't even know what to say because I was like, how the hell does that happen? Like, what is going on? So, um, Newfields is still a great place. It's beautiful. It's fun. If you've never been there, it's a nice museum, and and hanging out not when there's a foot of snow on the ground like there is right now, and going out there in the spring or summer is fun too. But you know, as far as like my opinion, I would limit, me personally, if I used to be an annual pass holder or something like that, because that's what they try to get you to do, and stuff, I probably wouldn't do that again. Um, you have to be an ally. You have to take a stand. We can tweet about things and we can talk about things all we want, but we have to get out there and really make a difference. And that's not making a difference. That's everything that's been boiling over to somebody being ignorant and dumb as shit. So that's the way I look at that, in my personal opinion. Okay, so we need to move on. It's 6:26. Tanya, okay, you get to go. What's your fail now? Woo! You're up.
So this actually happened in Fort Wayne, which is the city I live in. And it happened with my high school. So I went to Concordia Lutheran High School here in Fort Wayne. I hated it. It was the worst 4 years of my life. Like, I definitely felt very discriminated against, and I was not popular because, like, it was a majority of white people at the school. I remember, like, many times in a lot of classrooms, I was the only, like, colored person in there. And so it was really bad, but this actually isn't the first time that something like this has happened. This last summer, they made a post like after the incident with George Floyd and like all the protests were happening. They made a short video, one of the pastors did, and he was just so, like, he didn't mention anything about racism. He didn't mention anything about African American students, that we're there for them, that we care for them, nothing. Like, he just talked about like just how this world is full of sin and this is what happens because of sin. And like, it was just so, like, it blew up. It even went on the TV, like one of the like broadcasts here in Fort Wayne, they like interviewed students and like talked about it because like we were angry. Like, I even commented on it. I was just like, I'm so disappointed, and they never deleted it. But this week they posted, so you guys, we all know that it's Black History Month, and they posted that it's Dental Health Month. And I mean, like, the comments blew up. Like, everybody was so angry at the fact that they didn't even like have the respect to mention that it was Black History Month. Like, Dental Health Month, like, what? Like, that it's totally like doesn't even, like, why would you bring that up? And so it blew up, and thankfully they did delete it. I honestly didn't think that they were going to delete it. I thought they were going to just like act like it was fine, like they did with the George Floyd video. But even their apology, like, I have it pulled up, and it said, Concordia community, a post was made this weekend on our Facebook page that was at best, ultimately, and at worst, marginalized members of our community. Please understand this is not our intent. However, we accept the fact that it has happened. We are taking the post down. Please accept our apology. As many of you as have suggested, we will be doing better. And I'm just like, I don't feel respected. I don't think that the community feels respected. That doesn't even really sound like an apology. They didn't even take ownership of what happened. And like I said, this is the second time in the last few months that something like this has happened. And it's just really sad. So that was definitely a huge fail for them this week.
Definitely. Wow. Dental Health Month.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, okay. Okay, so it's even worse. It put into perspective what you were saying about what happened over the summer. And it would make me want to sit down with their leadership. I don't know. Do you know, is there a PR person who runs their social media, does videos for them or something like that? Or is there somebody that does that? Or
Yeah, I think she does like all the communication, so like all their social media and stuff.
yeah, so I guess the pastor's the head guy, right? So he would be the man in charge, but it seems like maybe he's tone deaf. But I think somebody absolutely needs to say something to whoever their communications person is. If that's, I don't know if there's a council for the church or something like that, but like, that's just ridiculous too. That's just as bad as that Newfields thing. And it's like, what the hell, people?
Yeah,
Dang.
it's pretty bad.
Dang. So I hope the school gets better. Sounds like they need to do some or the school is part of a church, right? And stuff, and they do some soul searching. Maybe talk about a little bit about what they're really there to do and help some people out. I don't know. But yeah, I just, when you want to feel the exact opposite. That is like the worst thing you can say from an organization like that. I believe, So
Mhm.
yeah. What would you do if you were the PR person for them?
I mean, I would definitely not even allow him to post the video, and I would definitely have taken it down. Like, everybody was really hurt the first time, and it's still up there. Like, it's still on their page, and it's so disrespectful. I wouldn't even work for them, so I would quit.
Yeah, they're definitely alienating their own community with that.
Mhm.
Oh, it's sad. Mm. Okay, thanks. All right. Woo, 3 fails. Okay. Tweets. I want to mention this real quick, okay? Because some of you have been trickling in, week late, 2 weeks late, and like, connecting with me and stuff. You can make those tweets up, okay? Like what? Okay, so today is February 16th. Let's see here. So you can make your tweets up through the end of the month. So through February 28th, because this is your first month doing it. All right. You won't be able to after that. I will count them every week and be like, dunk, dunk, dunk. Okay. So the other thing about tweets, everybody does great on the personal ones because those are the easy ones. But like, some people are doing okay on the professional ones, the communications ones. So think about this. Think about what's the fact, what's the tidbit for your communication type of tweet. Why are you tweeting that? Okay, you have to say that. Some of you retweeted good tweets, but you're like, this is good, or I like this, or this is good information to know. And I do the same thing. So, okay, hold on. I just see here. Do we just make up the tweets we missed from Tanya? Yeah, you can just make up the tweets you missed now, through the end of the month. Is it McKaylee? Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So can you confirm how many tweets? 10, five personal, 5 communications, digital media, PR, journalism, something like that. So 5 and 5, please. All right. Let's see here. Groups. Okay, so I've heard from 3 of our 6 groups about scheduling that time. You don't have to have things done. I just want to talk with you within the next week, okay? Or like if it can't be this week, next week, okay? Get in touch with me. You don't, I just want to again go over, what you're doing, what's going on. And again, group 1, I don't know what exactly you're doing. So whoever your group leader is, if you could send me, because you have to have that chosen by today, who your company or organization is. Group 2, which is Burt, Calderon, Cooper, and Darnell, Project Play. I need to talk with, schedule a time with me. Salvation Army group is good. Girls Inc. group, I need to schedule with you, please. Socialism Party is good. And then Jackie of Taylor's Bakery is good to talk. So let's do that sooner than later, please. And again, it's 30 minutes max. It can really only be 15, 20 minutes. I just want to, before you start really writing your paper, and I'm going to cover a little bit on that next, I want to just talk talk shop, come up with some ideas with you all, brainstorm, just to help out a little bit. Please and thanks. Okay. The first part of your paper is online now in Canvas, but it's changed. Okay. It is due March 23rd now, and it's 10 pages. Because I wasn't thinking how I kind of wanted you to do this, but when I got into it, you got to do your introduction. So I want you to do the introduction along with this, because that will help you as you're thinking, through your research and through your tactics. So it's the same thing. It's just 10 pages, Arial 12 point, but you have 2 pages for your introduction. Again, in your introduction is, what is your problem? Then you talk your goal, you talk your objective. Okay. And then you can get into your other parts. But yeah, you need to do your intro, and let's do that now. And here's the thing, just because you submit things now, like I'm going to go through and mark them up and stuff like that, you can change this. All right. You're getting a grade for this, but like it's not the overall end all grade. The overall end all grade is going to be your final project, that really awesome, cool PDF that you submit that's interactive with links and pictures and videos or whatever, ads that you have. Okay. So yeah, so that's admin stuff. So now let's talk focus group and surveys, and then I want to talk a little bit about tactics as well. Thank you, Sasha. You rock. Yes. Hashtag J428. That's what everybody has to use for them to count. Woo! I have it up on my profile. Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Is anybody really thinking that they're going to do a focus group, an online Zoom focus group? Or is everybody here probably like, they think, oh, okay, so Caleb, you guys think
Yeah,
about
our group is leaning towards that.
Towards that?
Just given our group is leaning towards that, just given the resources that we believe the Salvation Army has with volunteers, and so we're playing around with that, but that's what we're leaning towards.
Cool. Anybody else thinking that direction? Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to talk focus groups, and it's different than ever before. Focus groups, you were used to tell you can't do these online. You have to have one moderator in there. They have to be neutral. They can't, sway opinions one way or the other. There are even people that's their job. They're focus group moderators, and they get paid to do that. But I bet you they haven't been doing very many in the last year. So, yeah, it's going digital. Okay, so a focus group. To make a focus group effective, you need at least 5 people minimum, and I would say 10 people maximum. Okay, so if you can't get at least 5 people, we need to axe a focus group for your project. All right, so before you start your, I'll go over some specifics, but focus groups, and when you do that, you have to come up with a specific set of questions that show the base of what it is you're trying to figure out and find. Questions, they can be open-ended, or they can be yes and no questions in a focus group meeting. But, the whole point really of a good focus group is to hear people talk, to hear what they have to say, and then analyze the data from there. Yeah, Christina, do you have something? Oh, I thought you rose your hand. Sorry.
Sorry, I was pushing my glasses up.
Oh, it's okay. I do the same thing. Yeah. Okay. So I've never done an online focus group. I've sure done a heck of a lot of them, man, though, in person. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I think that it still can happen again. It might change a little bit, but I think in-person focus groups will definitely be a thing as we continue moving forward, and online ones will be in much greater use. Okay. So when I did in-person focus groups, I would always go in, set the room, make sure, that there's nothing up on the walls that can sway people's opinion, or, like an advertisement or a flyer for something. And it sounds silly to talk about this and to think about this, but I mean, again, that really is the whole purpose of your focus group, is to get some non-partisan, non-judgmental opinions, and see what people really think about, a problem or a product, etc. Always have water in there. Okay. Sometimes you can have snacks, but again, if you have snacks, like have something light. Focus groups are easily, okay, so when you ask a question, a focus group can real quickly kind of take off and get away from you. The moderator has to be able to keep that straight face and to keep things going. If somebody starts talking, or like, oh yeah, and another person says this, know that when you're going in, okay, I'm going to have 30 minutes And, you know, as the moderator, you're watching your time too. And you're saying, okay, if I have 30 minutes, well, it's either, depending on your questions, like 5 minutes or however many, 7 minutes per question. And that's a really, really good way to keep it going. And that the same thing goes for Zoom too. If you're going to do an online Zoom focus group, okay. So the difference I think between online and being there in person, if you're going to do a Zoom focus group, I think your whole team can be there. I think they just need to shut off their, how you're required to have your video on here. Just, one person moderate again for your team, whoever that is, and then everybody else just have your video off. Okay. But you can be in there and you can be listening and you can help analyze too. Number two, if you're doing a Zoom one, make sure you record it. Okay. And I'm telling you this, I tell everybody this, record it to the cloud. Do not record it to your computer. You can do different options like that, but record it to the cloud. You all get X amount of space from IU. God bless them, that you can keep things digitally. Okay. Focus group. Okay. Focus groups. I've been in a focus. Okay. So I've run focus groups in my last previous job for a hospital, and I used to run them all the time. Like, and we talk about care, we talk about programs, and what do people think about that? Excuse me. I'm talking too much. Woo! All right. Everybody wiggle. All right. So at Mary Free Bed, I was doing focus groups, and I found myself, I had to take a check back, because what I would do, I'd have an in-person focus group. These would be former patients. Okay. These would also be what's called a guild at that hospital. And the guild was of these ladies that actually own the hospital. And so they would help us, figure out some things as well. But I found myself, after I would record them, I'd just take my little GoPro or even my phone and just set it in the corner and record. I started to sway opinion a little bit. I was doing a series, so we had about 10 programs, and I was doing one focus group per program. And I found as I started to just really dive into it and keep doing them, that I was kind of pumping them up. That's kind of me though. I'm kind of high energy and stuff, and kind of like, woo, let's do it. I found out that I let our writer go in and moderate them, because she was much more even keel and she wasn't as excitable as me, and smiling and like, oh, I love that you say that. I said that a few times. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm totally not supposed to do that. So it happens. Okay. Man, I haven't coughed all day until I start talking a lot here. Sun-kissed in my Mandalorian and Grogu Turvis. Yeah.
That's the greatest show.
The good stuff, for sure. All right.
Fun fact, our final presentation is due on Star Wars Day,
Oh.
May the 4th,
Hey,
which is also my birthday.
Boom. Oh, that's cool. I love May the 4th. I might wear Jedi robes that day. So I have Jedi robes and I think 3 lightsabers. I am one with the Force. So, okay. So don't get frustrated. Just again, after you do if you were doing them over and over and over, you do a huge analyzation of how you are doing the focus group. Is it effective? Are you swaying opinion? But we're only going to do one. And then your team together will analyze that. Okay. Jeez, man. What the heck? I'm sorry. You guys don't want to hear me cough. My apologies. Focus groups. Okay, so there you go. That's my focus group fun. I want to talk a little bit about surveys now, since that's the majority of the class, and just give you some guidelines and stuff to do. So surveys are great. Surveys are cool. Use SurveyMonkey. It's free. I mean, there are all types of them that you can use, but SurveyMonkey is easy. They let you download the results, via PDF. They let you send, out up to, I think it's 100 people for free on SurveyMonkey, and then they start charging you. Okay, so people, you really need a good cross section with this because, you know, hopefully everybody that you email will fill out your survey. All right. That's the goal. So my suggestion, if you're doing this to really make it effective, would be to try to get 50 people. You don't have to, but to me, that's the sweet spot. Because not everybody of your 50 people will fill it out unless you are going to call them or you know them, or that's you want to use everybody else in the class. You can absolutely do that, you know, or whatever. So 25, I think 20 to 25 minimum. Okay, you need at least results from responses. 3 to 5 questions. Probably 5 as I'm thinking about it, because I was thinking 3 to 5, but I was like, in order to really analyze your problem, let's do 5 questions. Now, okay, so of the 5 questions, let me put this in the notes.
Could there be more than 5 if we wanted there to be?
Absolutely. 5 is just your minimum. Yeah, totally. But man, don't put way too many questions. You know, I would say no more than 10, no more than like 7 if you're doing a survey, because if your survey is too long and you're asking too much stuff, unless they're really, really highly engaged, everybody's gonna be like, oh, damn it, you know. And trust me, I've been there. I've sent surveys out to thousands and thousands of people and gotten like 0 response. And then I had to switch it up and then I got response. But yeah, that just happens. Again, and that's why as communicators, we analyze everything we do, because not everything is going to work all the time. We have to figure out what is not working. How do we make it better, or what's the, you know, the next tactic that we need to go on to. Surveys, okay, so it can be a yes or no question, and it can be a choice question. You know, you can do a write-in question if you want, you know, but again, on surveys, you're trying to get some real quantitative data and numbers. So if you want to do a write-in, I would probably only keep that at like 1 question of your survey. Because again, a lot of people don't do that. And it'll kind of, you know, oh, I can't just click buttons and here I have to type, you know, or make your write-in question not, you know, you can make some questions required and some questions not. So make your write-in question a not required question, you know, something like that, just as a, as a suggestion. Okay, so let me see here. Where am I at? Sorry, I got like 4 or 5 windows open. Close, close, close. All right, any questions before I move on to the next thing? You guys get it? You're kind of, you know, you're there, you're cool, you think you know what's gonna work. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, let's talk. Okay, so surveys, focus groups of surveys, you got those too. I'm sure, you know, again, this being an upper level class, you've done some type of a survey before. Let me know if you need help, you know, if you need, you know, setting that up. So I got you. All right, so let's talk here. Let's talk tactics real quick. So part of your paper is, after you do your research, and your research is your, you know, focus group or your survey, you then have to figure out, you know, what are the tactics that you are going to do to figure out your problem. I mean, that's what this is all about. You know, this is a true campaign and evaluation from start to finish. You do your research, you throw your campaign in there, and then you do your evaluation. And again, this can be an awesome portfolio piece. So I'm going to talk quickly about these. There are 5 different types of media, of tactics, that are like the main ones that we use. Okay. The first one, and you've heard these before in some of your other classes, but the first one is interpersonal. So like a special event, an information handout, an exchange of information, or like, you know, goods. And it's okay and they work. All right. Of that, special events, it's the right audience. If you find the right audience, that is just, if they're at an event and it just gets them psyched up to donate or to volunteer or to do something, man, that's cool. But I'll tell you, don't get caught up. I've done it, spending all this time planning a special event and then, just nobody comes, because you have to get people there. So that's interpersonal type of communications. Okay. So the next one I want to talk about, B, is owned media. All right. So this owned media is what we like to call controlled media. All right. So controlled media is media that you as a practitioner, you as the communicator, you control where it goes, how many people it's going to, what times it is. Okay. So what is owned media? Like a text. You've gotten texts now on your phone from groups, organizations, or a robocall. I mean, that's kind of an older one. They talk about that, and I thought it was funny in your book. These emails, these are web videos. This is your website. This is newsletters. These are flyers. This is direct mail. So owned media is media that you paid for to go out. All right. C, next one is shared media. So shared media is something that you're sharing out there to get responses from, and that is not controlled media. Okay. So what is shared media? Shared media is basically social media. They call it microblogging in the text. I think that's dumb, but that's like Tumblr and Twitter and stuff like that. That is the media that you create and you put out, and the more it gets shared, the more you go viral. It's not controlled, but I mean, that's really cool. Okay. D, okay, earned media. So I loved earned media. This is the good stuff, in my opinion. And this is where, as PR practitioners, you get to do your pitching. You get to go out there, you get to talk to people, you get to talk to the media. So the good stuff is getting on TV, having an interview on the radio, getting, like something into a magazine. So it's pitching to the media. I mean, that is your earned media. You've earned this media from going out and successfully pitching or grabbing them to come and give something about your, party or your project or whatever it is you're promoting. Okay. Pitching is not easy, especially today. Holy moly. In today's media landscape, there's so many people out there pitching to so many different other people, and every person that writes a blog once a week, they're like, oh, well, I'm media now, I'm a blogger and stuff. So it's difficult. Man, I'll tell you too, I pitch via Twitter now. I've really found some good success with Twitter. And I highly suggest that. And again, the old fashioned one like email. But again, if you're going to write somebody an email, it needs to have a damn good headline or subject line. Sorry, it needs to have a damn good subject line. And when they open that up, your first 2 to 5 sentences, that has to get them right there. And if it doesn't, because journalists get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of press releases and this and that today. Anybody here ever pitched? Anybody here ever contacted, some journalists or, been somewhere? No? It's fun. Oh, Christina, Aaron, yeah. Rock and roll. There's a rush. To me, there's a rush to pitching. And it's just sweet. And then when you show up there, with your client, and again, always be there with your client. And if that's online, it's being in the Zoom meeting. If that's taking them physically somewhere, that's being somewhere. We are the guys and the gals behind the big dogs. So we are the ones waiting in the shadows. And as a good practitioner, you need to always accompany whoever it is, your spokesperson or whoever's getting interviewed, etc. Okay, so the fifth big tactic is paid media. Oh man, paid media. So what is paid media? That's paying to play. You know, there is organic reach out there today, but there is not at all. I mean, organic reach sucks unless you're like a big ass celebrity or you're like a huge brand. And even those big brands like Coca-Cola, I love this fact, man. I look at this every year. Coca-Cola spends 60% of all of their money they make on marketing, and that is paid media. Even though they got badass organic reach and so forth, they're just building and building on it. They get it, you know. Let me see here. So you're like, oh man, but you're a small organization, or you're a nonprofit, or you're a small business, or you can't convince your bosses to give you any money to boost posts or do Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or Instagram ads. You have to spend something. And spending a little bit of money on these things will go a long way. Okay. You can spend a lot of money and waste it, but if you spend a little bit of money and you spend it right, it will work. I've done it for small local mom and pop. Like I used to do, there was a flower shop, and it's called Flowers on the Square in downtown Indianapolis. So I love that place. And I spent I think it was like 100, 200 bucks a month. And I divvied it out between the 4 weeks, but it worked. I had a sports bar that was downtown too. It's not there anymore either. It was called the Front Page Sports Bar and Grill. It's now called the Eagle on Mass Ave. It starts Mass Ave, okay, the Arts District. And with them, we would own so I did all their social media for years and was their PR guy, would promote special events, especially when the Super Bowl came in 2012. And I only spent it was like $100. It was like $25 a week on their Facebook page. So again, you just have to use some money. As every year goes on, organic reach gets lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's just the way it is. Okay. So that's paid media. Boom. Go paid media. So again, okay, so our tactics, they're broken down and again into interpersonal, owned media, which is controlled, shared media, which is not controlled, earned media, and paid media. So, you can basically break down everything and all the tactics you do into one of those 5 categories. And that is something, I'm going to want you to identify that, what is the best type of tactical advantage of interpersonal or owned media or shared or earned or paid. And I'll just say this, all of you need to be using paid media. All of you need to be trying and putting somewhere in your project about earned media. And shared media is just a given because all of you, for all of your projects, better incorporate some type of social media and those tactics into it. And I think you guys know that already. So it's wild when you look at it, you're like, oh, look at that. We are doing this. That's just a fancy way of breaking them down. Okay. So the next thing I just kind of wanted to say, just so you guys could put in your notes, is you will also, and this isn't in the tactics section, but I'm just I want to, bring up here tonight that you will be required to make a schedule for your papers, a Gantt chart, G-A-A-N-T, a Gantt chart. So we're making campaigns and every campaign has to have a schedule. And that schedule is everything from when the press releases are going out to all paid ads, to social posts, to web videos. Put it all down in there, please. Again, it's just a timeline. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just, it needs to be in your project, however you would like to present that. And then the other thing for your project is a budget. You will all be required to create a budget when you're like, okay, so I'm here. Here's my campaign. how much is your said campaign going to cost? Now, I know we're like fictionalizing this and we're kind of making this up, but be realistic. Okay. I mean, know your organizations, and you will, and know, like, do they really have money for this, or do they not have any money for this? Or if they don't have any money, how are you going to find money? Because you're going to have to, I mean, you're going to have to spend some money on each of your campaigns somehow, I would assume. And that's really it for tonight. I'll go over schedule and budget later in the next class that we're in more in depth and more detail. But again, so let's see here. I changed up March 23rd. Again, know that for your paper. And so next week is a wellness week. We have one of those wellness days. And so, hey, everybody be well on your wellness day. So what I would do is please, make some headway. Okay, so you have basically 5 weeks now until this is due, and you have your first 3 sections: introduction, research, and tactics. Woo! Kick ass. Okay, it's 7:02. I'm going to let you guys go.